Hey friends, thanks for joining me, and it's 2017. What? Yay! I'm sure everybody's excited for the new year, and this is the time of year when a lot of people put together their goals. And so I have a huge list of goals this year to achieve. So I'm going to try and run through this list as quickly as we possibly can because I'm really excited to share with you my 2017 goals. So the first one would have to do with our mortgage. In fact, a lot of the stuff on this list has to do with our house in general. This year is probably one of the most important years for us to make extra payments on the house because interest is front-loaded on a mortgage. So essentially when you pay the most interest is in the earliest years of your mortgage. So the very first payments you make in the first few years that you're in it, the extra money that you throw toward that mortgage will go the farthest. It's important to make extra payments toward your mortgage if your goal is to pay off your debt faster anyway. Anytime, but it definitely makes the biggest impact early on. So I'm going to try and dig real deep and try and do everything we possibly can to pay extra on our mortgage every single month. And hopefully we can achieve that and get that, goal of another 11% added. So that's my goal number one, which is going to take a lot of money, which doesn't leave a lot of money for the rest of the goals. But here we go. Let's try it anyway. The next one would be to pay for a car in cash. So my husband had his transmission die on his car. We don't have that anymore, and so we are hoping to replace that vehicle here shortly. We do have some cash saved to buy that. We just haven't found the right vehicle yet, so that's basically all we're waiting for is just finding the right vehicle at the right price because, as always, I have a lofty goal of what we want, but I just don't want to pay the price for that. I always am looking for nicer, higher-end things, but at lower-end, cheaper prices. So that's exactly what we're looking for in this one. The amount saved isn't what it would take to buy what we're looking for, but I'm going to keep trying anyway, and hopefully something will come along at the right time. The next one would be to build up our homestead. So of course this house is brand new to us, and it actually doesn't have any fruit trees or berry bushes or anything. It's no big deal. We can add all that. We can add fruit trees, we can add berry bushes, we can add grapevines. I need to redo the fencing for our goats and, a more permanent housing solution because right now they're just in like a temporary kind of thing. So we need to get all that figured out. Garden beds, I really want to add some nice big garden beds to the new place. And that sort of stuff. So basically just making it into an homestead and have lots of like edibles and things like that around the yard like we had in the last place. But that isn't actually that expensive because I know some tricks how to build up your homestead for cheaper. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in it because I'm really excited. And since I know that these are my goals now, I'm actually going to start saving for them now so that when the right time comes, we have the money available for it. So that's important too. That's why I think it's important to put together the goals and the plan so that when the right times come, we have what we need available to us to be able to make them happen. So, and I also want to add a greenhouse. That's going to be an expensive one, so that may not happen this year, but I'm going to try my best. We have the spot picked out for it. It's the perfect spot for it. Unfortunately, it won't be able to heat the whole house like our last greenhouse did. This house is substantially bigger than the other one, so that's just not, practical to be able to heat the whole thing with it. At least we'll hopefully be able to heat half of it, so that'll help. Anything helps, of course. But yeah, just get some direct vent solar heat by having that greenhouse and then be able to do our plant starts and stuff like that. So I know that greenhouses are a good investment. They take some money up front, but the way that we do them by attaching them to the house and then using them to their fullest, growing food in them, extending seasons, growing earlier, keeping it going later, it reduces how much we have to buy, doing our plant starts, even selling them like I have in the past, many of you know, doing a plant sale and stuff like that. I can use my greenhouse to make money in that regard. So I'm really going to try and dig deep if we can and find the ability to put in a greenhouse because it is a good investment. But we'll see. There's a lot that we have to try and do. The next one would be to make the yard into a park-like backyard for the kids. So the last place I made into more of a homestead when they were younger, and then when they grew up, they really didn't have a whole lot of room to play. So I'm going to try and keep a lot of room for them to play in this one. I want to put some swings in the trees for them. I recently just bought them a slack line, so they've been really liking playing with that here on the nicer days. We put it up on the nicer days and then take it down because it's kind of out of season, but you know what I mean. Like a hammock swing, and I don't know. We bought them a trampoline here on Black Friday, so that's exciting. I can't wait to put that together. Just stuff like that. Maybe a rock climbing wall. I don't know. We'll see. Just different fun stuff for them to play with, because we do spend a lot of time at home. So having a lot of stuff for them to do here just makes sense. So I want to try and build it up in a way that works for them too. Entertaining. That's something I never did a lot of back at our last place. I used the fact that it was a small house as an excuse not to do it. But in reality, I really don't like entertaining. It's hard. It's stressful. You know, I just don't like having people over a lot. So anyway, I'm going to try and push myself to entertain a little bit more this year though. So I'm going to try and have, you know, a couple times with friends over, or one big time with friends over, and then maybe a couple times with family members over, and just kind of push myself to grow. That is something I need to learn more about, how, you know, how to do. I do a little of it, you know, like on 4th of July I do that. But other than that, I really don't have friends over. I don't have people over for dinner, that sort of thing. So I'm going to try and do my best to just get better at entertaining and push myself to do it and find different ways that makes it less stressful, so we can actually do more of that, because my husband wants to do that, but I've been a little bit of a roadblock for him not wanting to do it myself. So that's what we're going to do. Now that we have a better house for entertaining, I'm going to try and learn how to do that a little bit better. Home improvement projects. This house has a lot of home improvement projects that it needs. You probably couldn't tell in the videos because it sort of looks good on the outside, but when you really start looking closer at things, it really wasn't done the best. There are places where they cut the baseboard out and then set it up against the wall and left it. They didn't even nail it off or anything. Or there's like a spot in the floor where it dips, like very, like obviously there's a big dip in the floor. So just little things like, or bigger things like that, we just need to fix. The house is really poorly insulated. They did redo the siding recently and put some foam insulation underneath the siding, which is great, but I still think it needs more under the house and above. Insulate the pipes, insulate the ductwork. Above the ceilings has like some blow-in insulation, but personally I feel like it's inadequate, and I know that's a good investment as well. It'll make the house stay warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer, and thus reduce the bills. So if we can do that and push ourselves to get some money, you know, in line to be able to do that, that would be a good investment. So I'm going to try my best to do that. I know I have to caulk around the windows, and I already did a bunch of weather stripping and stuff, so I've already started on it, but just get a little bit more of it done. The cabinets in the laundry room need stained and polyurethane, so I'm going to do that when the weather warms up and I can actually open the windows, because that's obviously very important. Just different stuff like that, just getting some house projects done when we can. Homeschool. Homeschool is something that we are going to need to figure out here very soon. I honestly don't know yet what I'm going to do with my oldest. She is in 6th grade right now, and she's going into 7th next year, and the curriculum that we've been following ends this year. So we're going to have to figure out a whole new solution. So we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do for, you know, the rest of middle school and then all of high school, if we even go that far with it. Honestly, homeschool is just one of those things we take year by year to figure out what we can do. But I do need to figure out what direction we're going in with that, and that's going to take a lot of research, so hopefully I can get that done soon and we can figure that out. But also, even just right now, having moved put us behind, and so my kids are behind right now, and so I need to get them caught up. And then, of course, figure out the new direction we're going to have to go in, so we just have to figure out what we're going to do with our whole homeschool thing. And as far as a YouTube goal, I'm going to try and bump up my videos to twice a week. So right now, I'm kind of inconsistent with it. I have one day a week that I pretty much guarantee to try to do a video, and that's Tuesday. And then some days, or weeks, or months, I have more time, or I have specific topics I want to do more videos on, and so I'll push more videos out. But regularly speaking, I really only do one video regularly a week, and then adding the other ones whenever I want to. I'm going to try and bump that up to regularly twice a week. So Tuesdays and Fridays, that's my new goal for 2017. And since I have all this fun stuff to be doing, all these goals to have in 2017, why not? And then a couple of personal goals. I want to try and be more calm and a little less harsh with my family. So having renters in the house is sort of the one that's pushing me to do this, because they are here and I don't want to be motivationally speaking with my children when they're here. Also known as yelling. So yes, my kids don't always listen, and so I do do the crazy mom thing where you tell them over and over and over again, and then you scream, and then everyone's like, geez, why is mom acting crazy? No, I'm going to try and do what I can to try and stop yelling and be more reasonable and, you know, just more calm in general with them. So having the renters here is, you know, helping, but it's probably something I should have been doing anyway. So yeah, some personal goals, there's some social goals, there's some work-related goals, and, you know, a lot to do with our house, that sort of thing. A lot of things, you know, that I'm hoping to achieve in 2017. And so if you want to come along, I would really appreciate it. So feel free to, stay tuned for the videos that I have coming up, and hopefully the 2 a week, like I said. That's my new goal anyway. So yeah, some fun stuff coming up, so hopefully you'll come along and join. So anyway, I'm Frugal Green Girl. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.